Welcome to Campus Spotlight. My name is Belinda Dalton Russell, and I serve as Vice President of Student Development and also Director of Cultural Diversity. Today, our topic is what kept students in college and what helped them to persist. Today, we have 3 graduates of West Kentucky Community and Technical College here with us today. They will be sharing their experiences about their life in college, and also they will also be providing information to help us understand better what it took to stay in college. First of all, how are you all doing today?
Good.
Okay, are you comfortable?
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, well, I hope you're relaxed. I want you to feel relaxed as we go through this panel discussion. And I want each of you to know that you have approximately a minute and a half to respond to each question, but you don't need to respond in any particular order. Whenever there's a comment made, feel free to just chime in and give your responses. I'd like to just kind of start off by saying I personally know how challenging it can be to go through college because there are a lot of things that happen on the front end before you even get started that can keep you from even making that decision to start. And then there are a lot of things that happen during the time you're actually taking classes that can happen. As they say, that old saying, life happens. It happens a lot when you're trying to get through college. And then even once you get on the other side of it, trying to go and look for a job and deciding if you're going to continue your education. So I think that's really important to know that up front. And because of that, it's really important for WKCTC to be able to gather this information from you so we can better be able to serve our students in the future. How many of you are first generation students?
I am.
Okay. And I can say personally from my experience, I am a first generation student. I am one of the first to not just to go to college, but to complete my bachelor's degree, probably the only one in my immediate family to actually earn their doctorate degree. And there were a lot of challenges along the way, and I can only speak from my personal experiences, but before I even try to add, I want to hear from you about yours. So let me begin by introducing each of you, the panelists. First of all, we have Tracy Dismore. Tracy is from Livingston County, and her major is in psychology and her minor is in English. Tracy plans to transfer to either SIU in Carbondale or Murray State University in Murray, Kentucky. Her career aspiration is to become a psychologist specializing in human sexuality. Next, we have Leslie Rochelle Harris, and she's from St. Louis, Missouri. Her major is social work and her minor is criminal justice. She recently transferred to Murray State University, and her career aspirations is to change lives and families. Next, Jennifer Haynes. She's from Eddyville, Kentucky, and her major is computer information systems. And she has also transferred to Murray State University. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with our questions. The first question I have for you is what led you to enroll at WKCTC, and what are the things that helped you to persist, to keep going?
Well, one thing that prompted me to enroll is I had, you said life happens. Well, life happened for me. I got out of high school, got married, had had 3 children, and one day I'm preaching to my children about how they need to, go to college and make good grades. And then I realized, it dawned on me, how can I preach to my children if I didn't get a degree myself? So I was at my job. I'd been there 5 years and hadn't even broke $11 an hour. And I just decided that now was the time to do it. If I'm going to preach to my kids and I have to be an example for them. So I came back to West Kentucky. It was very challenging. Some of the things that helped me stay enrolled were the staff. Without them and their help and guidance, I don't know, with working 2 jobs and taking care of my children and trying to do school classes, I don't know that I would have been successful without them.
Great. Jennifer, let me ask you, you know, I had mentioned before, I had asked each of you if you were a first-generation student. Can you tell me some of the maybe challenges you encountered that you maybe would not have had you not been a first-generation student?
Well, I'll tell you, my mother, even though, you know, she graduated years ago, there wasn't much help with my homework because she'd never encountered, you know, stuff like that. And my father, he died when I was 13, so I'd got out, I'd gotten married and decided that, you know, I wanted to raise a family. So whenever it came down to it, it was just me, or so I thought, until I got here and then I met the wonderful people at West Kentucky. And I say people, but they've been more like family. They've really invested in me, and I wanted to prove to them that I can be successful. So honestly, it's with them. I mean, they've pushed me every step of the way.
Okay, excellent. And Leslie?
Well, I originally came to Paducah to change my lifestyle. And I never finished college. I mean, I'm sorry, I never finished high school. I dropped out in the 8th grade. And, but I always wanted to get an education, but I never thought that it was possible because I struggled in school. And so I came up on West Kentucky out at the mall. There was a GED program out there, and I enrolled in there, and I went every day for 6 months. I didn't know anyone here in Paducah, but I was determined to have a better life. And so the GED program closed at the mall, and they told me they had it over here at the college. And this, so then I started coming to this one over here. And as I was progressing and getting my GED, the instructors there spoke with me about coming to college. And I was afraid because it was college. And, you know, and where I come from, college was never promoted or spoken in my family. And so it took me some time to actually do it, but the ladies in the program just continued to stay with me on it and encourage me, and they did a lot of pumping and priming me. And so I finally spoke to one of the instructors and told him that I was ready to do it. And so, but I hadn't accomplished my GED yet. And so, and I told her that, and she was like, "You're going to do it all." And so she said, "You have to believe in yourself." She said, "Because I believe in you." And that really gave me such a inspiration that I just can't really explain it. But so I started working on the both of them. And what kept me doing both is because I really truly wanted a different lifestyle. And with all of the different people here at the college, that once I got enrolled in college, and once I started taking college classes, the teachers, it was just like a group of people that just would not allow me to go backwards. And so that's what really kept me here, the faculty and also the staff.
Wonderful.
For me, it's kind of like Leslie. I got my GED in 2010, and I was so scared because I had never been to school and I was homeschooled, and you don't meet a lot of people. I knew my family and some close friends, but I didn't know anybody else. And when I came here, I was so afraid because I was in the chair, and I was just really timid and shy. And then when I met all of you, which is my family, it took off for me. It really did. And what kept me enrolled was, yes, my passion to further my education, because I didn't want to be just a person in a chair. But I think mostly what kept me was the times when I thought I couldn't do it, and I found somebody in the hallway that was like, "Tracy, just give me a hug." And that really helped me, because you don't know what hug can do for you. You don't know what people knowing your name can do for you. And that's what West Kentucky did for me. It took me in, it showed me that everybody wants to see somebody succeed in their own way. And it was just so wonderful, and I get so emotional about it because I want everyone to know about it. And I'm just, that's what kept me enrolled. I'm so happy and grateful for it.
Yeah. Tracy, you will never be just a person in a chair. Never.
Thank you.
Never.
So, never. Okay, second question. What are some challenges you faced, and you may have mentioned some of them, prior to and after enrolling at the college?
Well, I'll say prior to enrolling, like I said, I'd been out of school for close to 10 years. So, you know, that was definitely a challenge. I was working 2 jobs. I have 3 children. Just to get that done every day was a challenge. But then to add school classes on top of it, I mean, it just bombarded more. It cut down on the time I had to sleep, the time I had with the kids. But, well, the online classes were huge. Were a huge help for me because since enrolling in a bigger university and transferring, I had to quit my job. So that's made things a little more, you know, difficult. But definitely being able to do the online enrollment, just talking with my mentor, who, you know, I can talk about all day, about even time management skills, just little things of how to study, things that you don't think of that are important. You think, oh, I'm an adult, you know, I'm not a kid anymore, I've got this. But it was definitely challenging. So, but my mentor and just the staff and TRIO support services, there are so many different programs on the campus that people aren't aware of that have helped me.
Okay. And next, what are some of the challenges that you faced?
Well, for me, there were many. And I have to say, I don't know if someone would have stayed as long as I did to accomplish my associates in art, because I started I actually started in college 2009, and then I graduated in 2015. So I had many, many struggles and many, many challenges, too many to name today, but I will say a couple of them. One of the biggest ones were me finding out that I have a learning disability. And so having that was, it made it difficult to take in the information, because college is challenging, to take in the information. But then I got a hold to the program Accessibility Services, who has been awesome and wonderful, and TRIO support, student support, TRIO Student Support Center. With those two hand in hand and a couple of more outside resources, they all worked together to get me the necessary accommodations that I needed. And one of the other things was just not having the confidence in myself. I think that was a big challenge. Even though I had everyone telling me that I can do it, you know, you're going to get through it. But I had to make the decision to believe in myself and that I could do it. And once I did that, that's when I seen education, I seen college, I seen everything in a different light. And I am so grateful because West Kentucky's faculty and staff, like we all are saying, they go above and beyond, because I was not an easy person to deal with, and they would not let me give up. They just, anything that I needed, however I needed it, they were there. So.
Okay. And Tracy?
I think for me was definitely being a disabled student and financially strained, of course. The accessibility services, I got a hold of them, and they went above and beyond to make sure that my fear of not being able to converse with the other students and use the facilities here, they just wiped that clean. Like, it was tremendously great for me because they always cared. You know, they always asked and they always wanted to know. And then TRIO Student Support Services, like Leslie, I was so bad at math when I first came here. And they helped me through those classes. You know, they gave me a tutor that really worked with me, and I got through those classes and I graduated, and I never thought that day would come. And it really showed me that if you just go looking for something, you can find it. And I think some of those difficulties that we had to really tell ourselves that we had to get over them. We had to find solutions.
Wonderful. Now, several of you mentioned having mentors. So I wanted to ask you, were your mentors in a program, or were your mentors part of a program, or was this someone you just happen to know? And are you familiar with the Success Connection mentoring program at WKCTC?
Well, I'll tell you, I came about the mentoring program a little bit differently. I love to learn about other multicultural events, and so I became part of the MAC Club, and we had the Chinese New Year. And I was there, and there was a lady, Miss Japam. Instantly, I was just drawn to her. We actually had a relationship for about 6 months before we ever filled out the technical forms. But I think that's the awesome part of West Kentucky, is that you know, you don't have to fill out a form and be matched. There are people placed, and God placed, and staff placed them all throughout the campus, just there waiting to be helpful. There were days that she may just, you know, see my face and be like, I remember one time going down the hall, she'd be like, is everything okay? And then I probably just broke down and told her, you know, God knows what. But she was just there just to even, you know, ask, are you okay? Is there anything I can do? She actually helped influence my career path. She saw something in me that, you know, I always thought I wanted to do this. And she said, well, have you ever thought about this? And then I was like, you know what, maybe you're right. And it actually, it sparked something inside of me. So I will say the mentor services or the mentor program has literally changed my career path and will ultimately have changed my life.
Thank you.
Yes, I also agree with Jennifer. My mentor was Gail Bacchus, and she became my friend and my counselor, everything. I could be having a bad day about anything, life, school, individual people, and I could go into her office anytime I was here and talk to her about it, and she would always give me the best advice, whether it was good or bad. But she would tell me, and she would always just keep inspiring me. And she's also told me, you know, sometimes that when I would come in there and share with her, that it would help her through some things that she would be going through. So I really appreciate it, because I appreciate the friendship with her. And I say friendship and not just mentorship, because that's what it became, because she seen me as a person and not just as a student, and she seen how determined I was to want to be better than what I used to be, because I shared with her my life experience and different things that I've been through, and she would always tell me that I was a warrior. And I thought it was kind of funny when she would say it, and I was like, a warrior? And she was like, yes. She's like, you are a warrior. And she said, there's not a lot of people out in the world like you are. And because I explained to her how I used to be very intimidated by people that were dressed up in suits and you know.
You told me that about me.
Yes, yes, I did. And I used to really be shaky about, you know, that or whatever. And she just really helped me in that aspect to show me that she, you know, she would always tell me, Leslie, you got what it takes. She said, you're going to change the world one day. And so just inspiring words from her, inspiring words from, you know, different other people that I've encountered here on the campus is what really makes the difference in my life today.
Okay.
Well, for me, I would say that my first mentor would be my supervisor, because I was work study in TRIO Student Support Services. Her name is Maya Ng. Even before I got into the program, she always talked to me. She always was right there to tell me, go get him, Tracy, because I know you can. And she was just that rock that I could go to that would tell me, don't let your shyness or your timidness or or your inability to get things out clearly stop you from what you want to do. And I remember she got pregnant with child, and she had to leave for a while, and I was sort of lost. And then I got shifted to another person, and I had just met that person, so I was kind of, you know, a little shy with her at first. And then I just blossomed. We just blossomed. We talked for hours, and we could talk about anything. And she would encourage me so much, because like Leslie, again, I was terrified of you, Dr. Russell. And I would always be like, tomorrow, please help me. Like, she's got to see the person you see sooner or later. And she's like, she will, and so will everybody else.
Okay,
and
let's clear this up now. Are you all afraid of me? And did you have any reason to be?
No.
Not now. But it's honesty there. Like, and it was a big milestone for me, because I got over that, and now I consider you a friend, just like I consider Tamara a friend. And she helped me get over some of the stuff I was having in the issues that I was having in the classroom that I shouldn't even be having, like asking questions and just talking with the teachers. I was so afraid that I was gonna bother somebody, and she's like, I was just like that, girl, but look at me now, and it's because I got over that. And without them two wonderful ladies that work here, I don't know if I would be able to sit here and tell you that I graduated and got a degree and want to go somewhere like SIU. I just don't know if I could say that. And so I want to say, if they do watch this, that they should be very proud, because they're not just a staff member here. They're not just in a program. They are changing lives, and thank you.
Appreciate that. We have just a few more moments here, so I want to just squeeze in at least one, maybe two more questions if I can, because I think it's really important. How many of you are or was involved when you were at WKCTC? How many of you were involved in student activities? Why was it important, and how has it helped your career? I think that's something important to know. How has it helped you in your career?
For me,
or personal life, for that matter.
I really wasn't involved in a whole lot, but when I got involved in student ambassador, it really changed my life. It really helped me to even do what I'm doing right now. Being a student ambassador, it helped me to see that whatever I want to do in life, that I can do it. It opened the door to me even having conversation like I'm having right now. I met a lot of different people. I went to a lot of different events and was a part of them, something that I would have probably never done before. And one of the things it really did was open my eyes to my dream of owning my own business and knowing that I can do that. And it just changed me as a woman today. It just gave me this source of energy, because I got to meet so many different women of respect and women of professionalism, and it just, I just really can't find the words for it, but being a student ambassador is what really, and I am so grateful for you encouraging me to become one, because without it, I don't think that I would be going into the next phase of my life the way that I'm going into it, with confidence and knowing that I will make whatever it is that I need to do.
Okay.
I will say that I was a student ambassador. I was sitting at my desk one day when I was talking about working, and I got a phone call that said, hey, there's this service learning class. You only have to come 4 times. You get 3 hours of credit. You just have to write a paper, and you have to volunteer 45 hours. I thought, that's easy. I'm already doing that. That got me involved on campus, and that just spiraled into the student ambassador program. I even got student of the month. I ended up being nominated and getting student of the year. I got involved in the governor's minority program, which actually led my heart to see that I love middle school children. You know, people were impacting my lives, and through the college I was able to impact other people's lives, children's lives. As a matter of fact, I would have probably taken about 15 or 20 of them home with me, but just through becoming involved, people impacting my life, I was able to turn around and impact the lives of others. So not just their leadership roles, but through their actual, impacting middle school children. It was wonderful.
Okay.
For me, I was involved with a lot of stuff, and some stuff I've honestly forgotten the name of, but the three that I was really involved in and that I remember is being ambassador, like Leslie and Jennifer, and Trio Student Support Services and Exit 7. And the reason why these meant so much to me was because being a student ambassador, it showed me that I can go out into the community and I can help somebody. And it doesn't matter if you're rolling in a wheelchair, if you're running a marathon, if you're just serving drinks, or if you're just helping the homeless. You're always needed in your community, and no one needs to forget that. And it just gave me so much confidence, because going into psychology, I'm going to need to know how to deal with people, because that's what I'm going to be doing every day. And it just helped me see, and it helped me understand the way people think and the way I should approach different situations and the way I want to conduct myself and be approached. And Trio Student Support Services, they just gave me a purpose. I don't even have words to say for them. Like, they know what they have done. They were there through it all. They gave me a job. They gave me a family. They gave me a tutor. They gave me friends. That's how I know Leslie. And they just gave me everything. And Exit 7, it showed me that I can write, and I have the confidence to edit people's stuff. And Mr. Shirley, he's a phenomenal teacher here. They all are, but he really showed me that to be confident in yourself and what you can do, and you can do anything. And I want to say thank you to everyone here for all that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank each of you. I think this is a wonderful way to wrap it up here. I want to thank you for sharing your experiences at the college. I want to say that it was very difficult to watch each of you graduate and go, not because that was not the ultimate purpose of you being here or your goal, but I did see each of you really grow from the time you came until the time you actually left. And I do appreciate for you that you took advantage of every opportunity at the college to grow, not just academically, but personally, by getting involved in those activities in as well as outside of the classroom. So again, I thank you, and I also thank our audience today. And this wraps it all up for this segment of Campus Spotlight. So thank you.